Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another beautiful day on the plains of Colorado. If you're new here, I am Doyle, this is my garage, and I hope to earn your subscription today. So, one of the most often comments that I get is people saying that they can't wait to see the 460 run, or they wonder what it's going to run. And most of my interpretation of that is quarter mile. And although I grew up on the drag strip, and that's pretty much legit all I know, that's not what I built the 460 Vic for. I built the 460 Vic for mile an hour and nothing else. I didn't build it to compete with anybody. I didn't build it for anybody's classes. It was built for me. So with that being said, I've been thinking long and hard about getting back into drag racing lately. But if I want to get back into drag racing, it needs to be something simple. And the simplest thing I know is Chevy and Chevy small block. It's got to be Chevy small block. And then turbo 350, turbo 400, 700 R4, something super easy behind it. Not a stick, so gotta go with that. And then like a solid axle and a full frame. Kind of fond of that. I also want a better gear ratio than what I have. And a whole bunch of things that are just not Vic oriented. So, my brother Evan and I have been watching the local Facebooks and Craigslist and other stuff like that to see what was going to come up to maybe do a project together. And in our watching, we happened to see this video the other day. To be more technical, Evan saw it and he sent it to me. My first thing straight out of my mouth was race truck. And he was on the fence about it, and I kind of had to tell him that, it would be a really good idea depending on the price tag for it. Eric, thank you for letting me use your video. I really appreciate it, buddy. He's the former owner of the truck. And I'm going to turn you guys around now and introduce you to Project Pheonix. Project Pheonix is a 1985 Chevy S15 High Sierra that came with this 2.8 liter V6 and an automatic. This one happens to be two-wheel drive, and it used to be Evan's truck. Evan sold it and he bought it back, so it's still technically titled in Evan's name. He's gonna have to pay a late fee or sell it to me, and then I'll sell it back to him to get rid of that, but that's okay. So the story behind this thing. I am told that it sat for 24 hours without anybody driving it, without anybody touching it, and it just went up. And the hot spot, Evan says, is right there, and he thinks it has something to do with that coil. I'm not completely sure. I'm also not completely convinced, but at this point it doesn't really matter. Colorado Bureau of Investigation came out and made sure that it wasn't an arson, which is about all that makes me worry. So she's gonna need a windshield because she got heat cracked. We're just gonna hood pin the hood and call it good. The interior is gonna get completely stripped out. And we found him a super cheap knockoff painless wiring harness that he's gonna put in this thing. It's got 373 gears in a 10 bolt. It is open. We're gonna put a mini spool in it. Probably either fix this bedside or find another bed. There's literally 11 teen S10s for parts around here in junkyards. This one happened to be carbureted, which is not something I see very often. And with that being said, we will just be able to use the stock fuel tank, which is still in good condition. and just use the stock fuel line. It's this one right here. We'll have to go down there and find it, and I believe Chevy's mechanical fuel pump is on that side, so we'll have to figure out routing around, but that won't be too hard. And then I'm gonna have to get another brake booster, master cylinder, reservoir, but the brake line seems to be fine. We might get another distribution block or whatever the hell this is called. But everything in here is coming out, and I'm going to shave this firewall super uber pretty like I did with the 460 Vic. And I did that one before I was on YouTube, so you guys didn't get to see it, but you'll get to see this one and see how I shave it. Brand new fenders for a pair of them is like 130 bucks, and then we'll stick a fancy grill in it. We're gonna shave the front bumper out of it completely, and probably shave the back bumper out of it completely. And then his last race truck, we drilled holes here to let the air out of the back of the fucking fender wells at speed. We'll do that again. Even if it doesn't do anything, it's just a tribute to the last race truck. So life happened to the last one, and it is no longer around with us, and we're not completely sure where it took off to. I have it in my head that I want to reacquire that one too, so. But yeah, helicopter. So yeah, just your basic Chevy 350 swapped S10. The door on it says 2,600 pounds. I'd like it to be 2,600 pounds when I'm done with the small block in it. So we will see. No inner fender wells, no AC, nothing. Probably as small as the truck is, I may even convince them just to ditch the power steering and only run an alternator. I don't know. We'll find out. Evan is going to be making more trips up here, and he will be working on it with me, but most of the work will be done by me, and then you guys will get to see it go race, because he's going to try and get it home. I think we got 137 days until the end of race season, and I'd like to get at least one pass in this year, so we will see what happens. But that is Project Pheonix, and she is going to rise from the ashes and probably be the fastest car on this property, at least ET wise. You know, nothing's gonna beat the Vic mile an hour wise, but that's okay too. And as being as light as it is, it's gonna be pretty fucking scary. And he knows the moment it's done and it runs, I'm gonna set it out in the driveway and do a burnout just like the 460 Vic. So that's what you guys got to look forward to. This one is mine. It is staying here, mine and Evan's. When it is done, it's going to go home with him, and it's going to be enjoyed, and it'll probably be back and forth a couple times, I'm sure, but that's okay too. She's got clean Colorado title, and we're going to make it to where she's drivable. So get out there and wrench on something. This is one of my projects. I'm going to make you a video on Evan's other project here in a second, I think. So that one will be shorter because I really don't know anything about it, and it's not mine. So have a good day, and God bless. I will talk to you guys soon. Bye!